So over the past 2 or 3 years now, the Hollywood box office has been more dependent on domestic release and some international markets. They make a lot of money in the international market, actually. But there was a time when Hollywood was bending the knee all the time to China so that they could get their movies into that box office. And because of that, they were extensively editing a lot of the stuff in their movies. And it was awful. You shouldn't need to do that. Now, the best thing about the past couple of years is that we've learned we really don't need to bend the knee to the Chinese box office. We can make movies and still make a lot of money without them. And I thought that was great. The less censorship, the better. Top Gun Maverick is a really good example of that because if you remember, there was a big uproar because I believe he had a Taiwan flag on his jacket and they digitally removed it and then they put it back on and said, F it, we don't care. We're putting the movie out that we wanted to put out. So Top Gun Maverick did not get a release over there. And it didn't matter. The movie made $1.5 billion and was a success without it. Spider-Man No Way Home was a massive success. That movie made almost $2 billion. And it did it without a Chinese release. Now, why did they want that movie? What kept that movie out of China? It's the fact that they included the Statue of Liberty in the final scene of the movie. And that was seen as too American. They had to take that out. And Sony said, no, we're not going to take it out. We're going to leave it in. F you. And the movie still did well. Avatar 2, despite getting a Chinese release, it didn't matter. It didn't make any money in China, and that's because of everything going on over there. That movie's either already crossed or close to $2 billion, and that's with barely any help from China. But Marvel says, you know what? We don't care. We're willing to censor and make changes to whatever you want if you just please let us get our movies into your box office. Remember Shang-Chi? That movie was hilarious because Marvel went out of their way to try to make that movie please the Chinese market. And China gave them the finger and wouldn't let them release it there. And it was pretty funny. But apparently whatever was going on with China and Marvel seems to have been cleared up. Because now Black Panther 2 and Ant-Man 3 have secured Chinese release dates. As they point out here, this is the first time a Marvel movie has released in the country since Avengers Endgame in 2019. Man, they're going to be confused. None of those people over there have seen any of the Disney Plus bullshit. They're going to be a little confused to what's going on some things, I think. Maybe. I'm not sure. But this is kind of a stupid move to me. Like, I was really liking the fact that Hollywood was kind of moving away from giving a lot of concessions to China and changing a lot of the stuff in our movies to make them happy or putting shit in our movies to make them happy. And Marvel's the first to jump to the fact that it doesn't matter if we don't need them or not. We want to get every little bit of money we can, so we're going to go back to simping for them. In fact, I looked into this a little bit more, and not only are they going to do what they can to get the movies in over there with whatever deal was done to secure releases over there, they're also going to coach their talent to be a little bit careful of what they have to say. Don't want to go upsetting anybody over there in the people's government. So here's what's going on. This is actually a really good article. There's actually a big kind of Civil War type fight going on with Disney's executive board. This guy, Nelson Peltz, wants a seat on the board. And from what I understand, they're calling him an activist investor. From what I understand, so I'm still reading up on this because this is actually a really interesting little fight going on. This Nelson Peltz guy wants to make Disney less woke. And he has a large investment in the company. And Iger doesn't like him. That's what I'm getting out of this. So they're kind of fighting there. And he wants to take the company back to its roots and less woke. I'll do a video on this eventually. But that's not what I want to focus on here. What I want to focus on is this. So this is about the Beijing deal. China just agreed to give valuable release dates for Marvel movies generally. Not only are we extremely unlikely to see any Chinese villains, but presumably the talent will also be well-schooled to watch their words so that they can get movies in over there. Do you remember what happened with John Cena? This is what's going to happen with Marvel now. I don't remember exactly what he said, but John Cena said something. I think he said Taiwan is a country, and that made the Chinese government very upset. So he came out and made a statement in Mandarin. It was the biggest beta move I'd seen in a long time at the moment. But that's what's going to happen now with Marvel talent. And what a loser move. This is stepping back. It's always Disney that does this shit. Disney's always willing to step back. This is all about making as much money as possible. And, you know, I would rather these companies not do this and not bend the knee to that country because they don't really like us. And making our movies less patriotic or changing things to make China happy just seems kind of backwards to me. It seems kind of backwards. And other companies are moving forward saying we don't really care that much. And then you've got Disney just salivating at the fact of censoring their own shit so that they could get it out in that country. It's just, it seems kind of wrong. But, you know, Disney's been morally bankrupt for a long time anyway. So I'm not really surprised, but it is funny to me. Their image has a lot of problems, and I think they realize that. But maybe this guy can get in there and make them less woke. I highly doubt it. He's trying hard to get on that board. Anyway, what do you think about Marvel being the first to work that zipper and getting back into the Beijing market? You ready for more censorship? It's coming. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Also, if you would, please like, subscribe, share the video. Make sure you're still subscribed, hit that notification bell. Check out my Rumble and Locals, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace. Make sure to check out my Locals. There's a link in the description. It's a fun community that I'm trying to build over here. If you don't want to support me on YouTube, you can come over here. None of that money goes to YouTube. You also can just come over here for free. But if you are a supporter over here, I do plan on doing an extra live stream once a month and throwing links to the supporters so you can actually come on and have a supporter live stream with me. Also, it's a good place to catch all of my content. You don't have to worry about notifications like YouTube. They'll definitely work over here. So come check out my Locals.